Thank you. Good evening, Wareham, and welcome to the Select Board meeting of June 6th, 2023. May I have a roll call, please, Ms. Wertz?
Good evening. At today's meeting is Mr. Alan Slavin, Ms. Judith Whiteside, Mr. Jared Chadwick, Mr. Ron Bessie, and myself from the Board of Selectmen, and Mr. Richard Bowen, our town attorney, Mr. Derek Sullivan, the town administrator.
Thank you. Pledge of Allegiance. Let's see. I think it's your turn, Mr. Bessie.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before I go to announcements, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence for William Deakus. The Deakus family, as everyone knows, has been very generous with the town of Wareham, and Bill died on Saturday. And so I would just ask for a moment of silence, please. Thank you. I also would like to note that Bob White, who has been our guy for several years, will no longer be working for WCTV and doing the broadcasting for us. And I just want to say, Bob, we've really enjoyed all of the time that you have kidded us and gotten us where we needed to be, and we wish you well. And if any of the rest of you would like to add a word, just please feel free. Alan, you're muted.
Senior moment. Bob's been around with me probably at least 15 years now. It's been a pleasure working with him all this time, and he and Frank Heath and myself, spent a lot of time together doing things for the town, and he will be missed, and hopefully they will do some of the stuff later on. Thank you.
Thanks.
And Bob, from me, Tricia, we began to know each other when I was doing the project for the WRA, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the times you took care of me, talked to me about what I needed to do to make what I was doing best for you to film, etc. And you have a big place in my heart.
Thank you. Anyone else? Ron?
Obviously I haven't been around that long. But for the time that I have been around, Bob has always made sure to take the time to make sure things are just right. If it wasn't right, he'd let you know. But thank you for your years of dedication to this town and the impacts that you have had, and best of luck moving forward with whatever your endeavors might be.
Thanks. Jared, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Bob, good luck, and thank you for all of the hard work you've put into this over the years. Like Ron said, I've only known you a short time, but I've seen the amount of work that you've done, and you're going to be missed. Thank you.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yeah. Bob has had the, I should say, misfortune of always recording the annual Finance Committee all-day budget hearing. So it's, but he's always been interested in it. So I appreciate all his time. Nobody has hounded me better than Bob, especially when I first started. So I really appreciate all his time and the amount of work he's done for his community, not just through WCTV, but he was on, Alan, correct me if I'm wrong, he was on the finance committee, and then he actually made way because he felt there was some other persons on there that could help more. So really amazing person. So it's, Bob's still around, but I'm certainly going to miss him, especially seeing him all the time during the meetings. So thank you for everything, Bob.
Yeah, also to add to Derek's thing, he also is heavily involved with the Veterans Council, Veterans Day Parade, and when the wall was brought into Wareham as well.
Right. Absolutely. Thank you. I just have one other announcement that I'll make, jumping in where I don't usually. Today is the 79th anniversary of D-Day, and there were some really kind of moving events in France, on the beaches. One of the young men who lied about his age went into the service at age 15, and he was at some of these ceremonies. That was probably an awesome thing to see. I have actually been to the cemetery in Normandy, and I have to tell you that I don't ever want to have to see another one. Okay, announcements. Mr. Slavin.
Veterans Council still needs members. Please, if you have any interest at all, come to the town hall, selectman's office, and fill out an application. Badly needed. There's a bill that's just been announced that they're percolating through the state to stop our citizens from going to outside sources to buy their electricity, claiming that people who do this end up paying more because when they go ahead and do this, then they raise the rate up next year or so. It's kind of disappointing because that's exactly what Eversource and National Grid did this past year, is bounce up almost 30 points. And our basically energy aggregation program locked in for 2.5 or 3 years at a low rate, which is still there. So I'm not sure where this is coming from, except probably pressure from Eversource and National Grid. But just to let you know, if you're concerned about your rates going up, I'd get a hold of your state rep and also your state senator and ask what's going on. And that's it.
Thank you. Mr. Bessie?
Yeah, I just one quick thing. Just want to remind everyone that we are going into the summer season. Things are starting to get busier in town, and they're going to continue to get busier. So ask for patience when you're out on the roads, extra eyes, with the kids out on bikes, because school's going to be out here in just about a week and a half. So just, more eyes on the road. Be patient, enjoy the summertime, enjoy the beaches, but please just be patient, keep your eyes open, and be more cognizant of the things around you, because for the next couple months, as you all know from living in town, it's going to get crazy. So please just be patient, enjoy it. And if you have any questions about anything, we're all around at some point. Please reach out and we'll do what we can.
Mr. Chadwick?
All right, I have just one thing. The June 3rd, the town of Wareham and Onset helped celebrate Pride Month in Onset. Spectacular showing. We rose the LGBT flag in Onset, and it was moving, to say the least. There was a lot of people there. There was a lot of support. Unfortunately, there was some negative comments on Facebook, but those are just scummy people, and we're not too worried about them. We did also receive to the town of Wareham a certificate of special congressional recognition from Elizabeth Warren's office. So I just wanted to make that known. We have already started planning for the one next year. So thank you to everyone that came out. It was a blast, and I'm happy that the town of Wareham has such a very supportive community.
Thank you. Ms. Wertz, just Mr. Slavin had one more, and then I'll go to you. Mr. Slavin, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. My wife was basically going to shoot me if I don't do this one. I'll be back in the garage, I guess. Community Preservation Committee grant deadline is the second Tuesday, July 10th for fall town meeting articles. So you have to be there on time, or else you can pick up the on the town website the forms to reply. Thank you.
Thanks. Ms. Wertz, announcements?
I'm fine.
Okay, excellent. I already did mine. We have a bunch of reappointments or appointments, and I have asked WCTV to let everyone in at the same time. We decided a couple of weeks ago that when we did the reappointments or appointments, that we would like to have people in, even if they were being reappointed, because some of you newer select people haven't yet met some of these people. After that, we will be doing one license or permit And I just want to remind you that we will be doing the notice for the special town meeting, and then we're going to be going into an executive session. So we do have a fairly full agenda. So Autumn Wood, Carl Schultz, Carol Melanson, Jean Connaughton, Sandy Slavin, raise your hands, please. And WCTV, would you let those people in? Autumn, raise your hand. Okay, Carol Melanson. Sandy Slavin. Carol Melanson, can you raise your hand, please? Thanks. Sandy Slavin, raise your hand too, please.
I'm on.
Okay, and I think that's it. Miss Burbank, Christina Burbank, are you with us? If you are, please raise your hand. Oh, excellent. So would you let Miss Burbank in? She apparently is TT, is that it? Okay, excellent. So Miss Wertz, I'm going to ask you to do them one at a time, and we'll make a motion, and then we will ask people if they have any questions about for any of the people who are being interviewed. I will note for the record that Dr. Vigant will probably not be able to join us. She has been on the Board of Health for several years, as you probably all know, but if you would like us to hold that aside. No, okay. Ms. Wertz, may I have a motion then on the Board of Health term?
I make a motion. Excuse me, I had to make sure I was hearable. Make a motion that we appoint Amy Weingart to a term to the Board of Health for a term to expire June 30th, 2026.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to appoint Dr. Vigant. Any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Slavin?
Yes.
Mr. Bessie?
Yes.
Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Ms. Wertz?
Yes.
And myself, yes, she is appointed. And I'm going to make the statement now, and I'll make it at the end. Everyone who is being appointed or reappointed tonight, you may not be sworn in until you have done all of the documentation, which includes the ethics training and the open meeting law training, which is online. And those links have been sent to you. Ms. Wertz, I'll accept a motion on Conservation Commission.
I make a motion that we appoint both Autumn Wood and Carol Melanson to the Conservation Commission for a term to expire June 30th, 2026. And that's a correction to the Scribner's era of 2025. That's on
Second.
the agenda.
Motion made and seconded. Do any of you have any questions of Ms. Wood? No? Okay. Any of you have any questions of Ms. Melanson? Nope. Okay. Ms. Wood, do you have any questions for us?
No questions, thank you.
Thanks. And Carol, do you have any questions for us?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Well, I do have one quick question. Can you guys see me?
No.
No.
I
We
can't
can-
see me either, and my camera's on.
Okay, we can hear you, and that's fine.
Okay.
So for the record,
Okay.
you are with us, and the record will show that. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Motion made and seconded to approve both of them with a term to expire June 30th, 2026. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Slavin,
Yes.
Mr. Bessie,
Yes.
Mr. Chadwick,
Yes.
Ms. Wertz,
Yes.
and myself, yes, 500. Community events, Ms. Wertz. Oh, Ms. Connaughton, would you raise your hand, please? WCTV, would you let Jean Connaughton in?
Miss Whiteside, can
Yeah.
I be sworn in tonight? I've already turned in all my paperwork.
No, we don't do the swearing in. The town
Oh, I
clerk.
go to the town clerk? Okay.
Yeah, well, you have to go to the select board office to pick up your
Paperwork.
the documents, and they won't have been signed until probably Thursday at the
Okay.
earliest. So you probably won't be able to be sworn in until Monday.
Okay,
because we have to sign the appointment documents before you can pick them up.
okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Ms. Connaughton. Oh, there you are. Okay. Ms. Wertz, I'll accept a motion on two things for well, we'll do them one at a time, but Ms. Connaughton is here for two separate appointments as you, yeah. I'll accept a motion, Ms. Wertz,
So
on
I make-
community events, yeah.
I make a motion that we appoint Jean Connaughton to the Community Events Committee for a term to expire June 30th, 2026.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to appoint Ms. Connaughton. Do any of you have any questions of Ms. Connaughton, who has been on this committee and other committees as well? No. Ms. Connaughton, do you have any questions of us? No? Okay. Hearing no further discussion, I will go for a roll call vote. This is for the community events. Mr. Slavin,
Yes,
Mr. Bessie,
Yes.
Mr. Chadwick,
Yes.
Ms. Wertz,
Yes,
myself, yes. And may I have a motion, please, on the other? Well, I guess you could do those three together.
before Judith,
Ms. Worthen is not here, so yeah, make them do them one at a time because, well, let me ask this question. Do any of you have an objection to having Ms. Worthen before us as an applicant for community preservation? She's been on it and on other committees as well. And I'm guessing that most of you know who she is, but if you want to hold it off to a time when she can be with us, that would be fine. Do any of you want to hold that off?
no issue there at all.
Okay.
No,
excellent.
she's not a new face.
Okay, Ms. Wertz, then I'll accept a motion on item 5D. As written there.
before I make this motion, Ms. Connaughton and Ms. Slavin, it looks like they have terms to expire June 30th, 2024, while Ms. Wharton expires June 30th, 2026. I just want to confirm that those.
That's
because
correct.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
So I make a motion to appoint Jean Connaughton to the Wareham Housing Authority representative for a term to expire June 30th, 2024. To appoint Ms. Sandra Slavin to the Conservation Commission representative for a term to expire June 30th, 2024. And Ms. Sherby Worthen, citizen at large, term to expire June 30th, 2026.
Second.
And these are what I would call, thank you. These are what I would call slide overs because the Community Preservation Committee is made up of specific people from specific committees, and that's what we're doing here. Motion made and seconded. Do any of you have any questions of Ms. Slavin?
I can't.
Nope. Any for Ms. Connaughton? No, I guess not. And Ms. Worthen is not here. Any further discussion on the motion to appoint? Seeing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Slavin,
Yes,
Mr. Bessie,
Yes.
Mr. Chadwick,
Yes.
Ms. Wertz,
Yes.
and myself, yes, 500. You are all appointed. Melissa Coronan is not with us. She is. Are we holding that one aside, Ms. Wertz?
We're holding that. We do not have her,
Yeah,
all her
okay.
paperwork yet.
Okay, thanks. Then I'll accept a motion on the Minot Forest Committee, please.
I make a motion that we appoint Sandra Slavin to the Minot Forest Committee for a term to expire June 30th, 2028.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to appoint Ms. Slavin to the Minot Forest Committee. Any further discussion on that motion? I'm guessing you have no questions of the young lady. Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Ms. Slavin,
yes,
Ms. Chadwick,
Yes.
Mr. Bessie,
Yes.
Ms. Wertz,
Yes.
myself, yes, it is done. And I will accept a motion on Wareham Affordable Housing Trust. Ms. Wertz, please.
I make a motion that we appoint Carl Schultz to the Wareham Affordable Housing Trust for a term to expire June 30th, 2026.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to appoint Mr. Schultz. Are there any questions of Mr. Schultz? No? Do you have any questions of us, Mr. Schultz?
No, thank you.
Thank you. I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Slavin,
yes,
Mr. Chadwick? Mr.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Bessie,
Yes.
Ms. Wertz,
Yes.
myself, yes, 500. And then on item H, please, Ms. Wertz.
Make a motion that we appoint Ms. Judith Whiteside as a select board rep and Mr. Ron Bessie as a select board rep to the Wareham Redevelopment Authority for a term to expire May 2024.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Thanks. The WRA is made up of specific people from different parts, and then 2 selectmen are on it by the way it was created. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Slavin,
Yes.
Mr. Bessie,
Abstain.
okay, Mr. Chadwick,
Yes.
Ms. Wertz,
Yes,
and myself. I don't see a reason not to vote for it, but I will follow your lead, Mr. Bessie. 302, thanks. Miss Burbank, are you in the meeting? She was.
she is.
There you are.
Yes.
Good
Here
evening.
I am.
Hi. WCTV, could you remove Mr. Schultz, Ms. Melanson, Miss Wood, and Ms. Connaughton from the meeting, please? Or from the procedure back into the audience? Thank you. Good evening, Ms. Burbank. It's nice to see you again. We have some individuals who are new to the board, so if you wouldn't mind explaining briefly what it is that you do. I have explained to the board members that through the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, fortune tellers are licensed by the select board. And I believe we charge you $1 for that. But if you would like,
$2.
oh, is it $2? Wow, we went up. Okay. Ms. Wertz, I'm going to accept a motion first before we talk with Ms. Burbank.
I make a motion that we appoint Christina Lisa Burbank, fortune teller, for a term to expire June 31st, 2023.
Thank you. May I have a second?
I'll second, but it's December 31st, not June.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, it is.
Excuse me, December 31st,
Thank you.
2023.
Thank you,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Bessie. There's a
Thank you.
motion in a second. Ms. Burbank, would you choose to just address the board quickly?
Thank you so much for offering me this opportunity and for affirming this service that I offer. And just, I think we've all experienced over the past couple of years, especially loss is so trying. Loss is so trying. And so I assist people. Another alternative. Everybody's a different psychosocial science experiment. So I offer others an alternative to help play through the loss that is so challenging. And you can find me at Which to Take on YouTube and Instagram and other social media. And I am so grateful to be able to be here and unfold. And this is something that's part of my heritage, my Romani heritage and my destiny. And I just adore doing it. And I love Wareham and sharing this with you all. So thank you so much. So wonderful to meet all of you.
Thank you. Any questions of Ms. Burbank from any of you? Any comments? No. We have a motion and a second to appoint with the corrected date. I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Slavin,
Yes.
Mr. Bessie,
Yes.
Mr. Chadwick,
Yes.
Ms. Wertz,
Yes.
and myself. Yes, it is done. Ms. Burbank, your appointment, I believe, you don't have to do some of the paperwork that the others do, but if you don't mind calling the office before you go to pick the paperwork up, that would be appreciated.
Can do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
So grateful. You too. Ciao bellos. Ciao bellas.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ms. Wertz, I'll accept a motion on item 5J, please.
I make a motion that we appoint as constables Karen Blair, Richard Coletti, Stephen Coughlin, Ian Daly, Cynthia Follis, Louise Gonzaga, George Morris, Robert Short, and Joel Thomas as for a term to expire June 30th, 2026.
Second?
Motion made and seconded. Remember, we decided that we would go from the 1-year appointments to the 3-year appointments. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Slavin,
Yes.
Mr. Bessie,
Yes.
Mr. Chadwick,
Yes.
Ms. Wertz,
Yes,
myself, yes, they are appointed. Kat Jones, are you here for the Onset Bay Association? And if so, could you raise your hand? And if not, Ms. Wertz, I will accept a motion.
I make a motion that we approve an application from Onset Bay Association, care of Kat Jones, 186 Onset Ave, Wareham, for the use of town property for Christmas in the Village to take place on Saturday, December 9th, 2023, from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. with the rain date of the following Sunday,
December 10th.
December 10th. Yeah.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Made and seconded to approve. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote, and all the paperwork is in order on this one. Mr. Slavin,
Yes.
Mr. Bessie,
Yes.
Mr. Chadwick,
Yes.
Ms. Wertz,
Yes.
myself, yes, 500. We will go to a discussion on a possible vote to recommend the street acceptance of Candlepaper Lane to an upcoming town meeting. You have a bunch of information on that. This has come before this board before, and the applicant was told to go back to the planning board, and the planning board gave some, I think it was 4 different conditions that had to be met before it could go forward to the town meeting. So I would ask for a motion, Ms. Wertz, to.
Ms. Whiteside, that's inaccurate.
Oh, it is? Okay.
It was supposed to, you needed the updated layout, not including the sidewalks and not including the, we weren't taking the drainage systems or anything like that. And that was the holdup last time.
Yes.
Okay, so I'd like to refer it back to the planning board at any rate, just to make sure that those conditions have been met. Ms. Wertz, could you make that motion, please?
So I make a motion that we refer,
The application of,
yeah, I'm looking, I'm
Yeah.
missing it. Oh, here it is. Refer the application to recommend street acceptance of Candlepaper Lane to the upcoming town meeting back to the planning board prior to taking any action on it.
Second.
motion made and seconded to recommend it back to the planning board for action. Any further discussion on that motion? Nope. Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Slavin,
Yes.
Mr. Bessie,
Yes.
Mr. Chadwick,
Yes.
Ms. Wertz,
Yes.
and myself, yes. I would like to postpone the review of the liaison appointments until I've had an opportunity to look at the list a little more carefully than I did. Item C is already off the agenda, and Ms. Wertz, you are now on there, item 7D. Would you
Yes.
please read the note, the process for calling the meeting into the record?
The process for calling July special town meeting for July 24th, 2023 at 7 p.m. Tuesday, June 6th, 2023, Select Board establishes all dates for completion of a warrant for the special town meeting. Tuesday, June 13th, 2023, Select Board votes to hold the special town meeting on July 4th, 2023, and to provide notice thereof on Wednesday, June 14th, 2023, and to open the warrant effective Friday, June 16, 2023, 10 days notice before warrant closes. Wednesday, June 14th, 2023, last day to post upon town's principal bulletin board and the town website notice of intention of the select board to call the special town meeting for July 24th, 2023, and to post the June 16th, 2023 opening and the June 27th, 2023 closing dates of the warrant, 24 hours after voting the date warrant opens. Monday, June 26, 2023, last day for submission of articles and/or petitions to be inserted in the warrant, 10 days or more after warrant opens. Tuesday, June 27th, 2023, Select Board officially closes the warrant, 10 days or more after warrant opens. Friday, June 30th, 2023, last day to post the special town meeting warrant upon town's principal bulletin board and the town website, and to deliver a copy of warrant to the town moderator and to the chairman of the finance committee. Special town meeting warrant to be delivered at least 21 calendar days before the commencement date of such meeting. Monday, July 24th, 2023, commencement of special town meeting.
Thank you. May I have a motion to accept the process as written, as read?
So made, just one piece though.
Yeah.
Should we not be also putting down the location of
Not
town
yet.
meeting?
No,
Not
we
yet?
do, no,
Okay, just asking.
no, good question, but no.
Never
I'll
mind.
second.
Second, thank you. Motion made and seconded to adopt this process, and we will be noticing the meeting next week's meeting, the town meeting. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Slavin,
Yes.
Mr. Bessie,
Yes.
Mr. Chadwick,
Yes.
Ms. Wertz,
Yes.
myself, yes. Ms. Wertz, you got to practice your speed reading. Mr. Titlebaum would have done that in 2 minutes.
He probably would have done it 10 times faster than me. I can't move that fast.
Is there any other meeting to come, any other business that is unanticipated? No. Mr. Sullivan, Town Administrator's report, please.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Just one thing I want to bring up, some good news. I think if I share this, we're all familiar with, do you see the property of 16 Wareham Ave?
Yes.
That's
All right. So that is how it used to look. Now, go back to how it looks today. And I'm sorry for not the instant gratification, but so
That's the way it looks, blank,
you don't see it with the,
No,
No.
we see nothing.
that thing.
We see a black screen.
It looks amazing.
It looks like that at night.
Did you take the picture at nighttime?
Yeah.
I should expect this with this crew.
Yeah.
Next time use a flash.
You notice there's no streetlights.
Oh, so it's
Oh,
Or he just didn't take the lens cap off when he took the picture.
Mr. Sullivan, I apologize. They're really kind of in rare form tonight. It's still not there.
all right. So hold
Well, Derek, that's accurate. It's not there.
on. It is.
That's correct, Mr. Bowen. It is not there.
We've
I
actually
do
received
the
actually, I think 4 or 5 phone calls from residents of the Audson area thanking us for getting this done finally. So thank you, Derek.
so I will go old fast.
Yep, we can see that. Excellent. So it is now an open lot with boulders around it to keep traffic off of it. Mr. Sullivan, do you have something else to say? You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
I don't think people actually understand what this took, from the legal aspects going through court. So I'm going to list some of the entities that were involved to have to get this down, and this is on top of their regular course of business. You know, Dave Menard and the Municipal Maintenance Department, their crew, not just cleaning up that, but the entire paper street across from that. That was essentially a junkyard going right into the wetlands. Patrick McDonald and Eli Estevez of the Health Department. Wareham Police Department, and Chief Correa and Lieutenant Flannery especially, who was down there multiple times. And obviously we had other police officers there. I appreciated their help. Onset Fire Department. You know, the Richard Snyder and others involved from the department. Inspectional Services Department. The Treasurer Collectors Department. Let's see, should I continue on? You know, our town council, Rich Bowen, and obviously, we also had Peter Brown's office involved in this. The select board from all the calls and the staff and everything you've been involved with. Patty Neal from my office, who a lot of calls, you know, and you know that's just a few of the departments, because there was a lot more, and this was multiple years between shutdown of COVID, between other things. This again, there's a lot of time theft from this when it's I gotta say for the town departments, but this is one of the good things. And to be blunt, and I'll leave it at that, we're not done yet. So
Excellent. Thank you. Anything else for your report, Mr. Slavin? I mean, Mr. Sullivan? No, Mr. Slavin.
No, I was off most of last week for a really great trip down to Washington DC. Believe it or not, I'd never been there, and it was for a national geography that my daughter qualified for. So it was really just an overall special event. So appreciate it all, and it is. We hear a lot about today's youth. Let me tell you something. Those kids are brilliant. And if really nice to see our future leaders coming forward.
Thanks. Okay. We have no other business, but we are going to be going into executive session. So, Miss Alan England, would you raise your hand? And I'm taking it. Who is the attorney for Maya?
We're going to have Rob Papandrea.
Papandrea. Okay, fine.
Raymond, please.
And Mr. Raymond as well?
Yes, please.
Joseph Raymond. Okay, excellent. Those three people should be let into the meeting. I will accept a motion to go into executive session as listed on the agenda. We will be adjourning from the executive session. We will not be coming back into open session. But after we make the motion to go into executive session, we will take a 5-minute recess so that WCTV can remove everyone from the meeting except for the individuals on the screen at the moment. Ms. Wertz?
Make a motion that we enter executive session to discuss MGL 30A, Chapter 21(3).
Second.
You need to read the entire.
Okay, to discuss litigation of Steve DeFreitas versus Town of Wareham, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining and litigating position of the public body, and the chair so declares.
Thank you.
Second.
There's a motion made in a second to go into executive session. It is 7:37. Is there any further discussion on that motion?
Madam Chairman, did you so
Yes.
declare it would be a detrimental effect?
Yes, I declare that it would in fact be a detrimental effect on the town of Wareham.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there any further discussion on the motion to go into executive session? Hearing none, I will call for a roll call. Mr. Slavin,
Yes.
Mr. Bessie,
Yes.
Ms. Chadwick,
Yes.
Ms. Wertz,
Yes.
myself, yes. It is 7:37. We will be back at 7:41. Let's call it 7:41. So the rest of the individuals in the audience will be removed by WCTV. So you have 4 minutes.